Hello from welcome to Invest. We talk about investing, finance, and professionalism for today's systems only. The episode I'm going to talk today will be ETH. First, I want to say happy Saturday, everybody. It'll be a great weekend, by the way. It's my second postings of today. Respect to recording time of 12:37 p.m. on the Eastern Time. Ethereum currently trading $4,237, down about 1.45% so far. On the overall crypto market, you can see clearly on the left side of the corner, we're leaning more towards a downward sentiment to type of a non-active type of day so far, right? And half of the day is basically gone now. It's almost, 1 p.m. On the Eastern Time right now, while at the same time on the West Coast, people are just starting to wake up now. On the news front, I would say collectively speaking, we have only like a handful of news that's been happening today, which is quite typical, right? On the Saturday morning, like journalists or publishers all have a life too. So I guess today's one of those off days for the respective journals companies. So one of the news that's really worth mentioning, beside the ones that we've already mentioned, with respect to the recap on the infrastructure law, right? The Joe Biden's passing of the law that happened basically the past Monday, right? And ever since then, because of the tax provision within the law or within the bill, if you may, is driving some sell-off, right? Because whenever you hear anything along the line with respect to regulatory compliance, infrastructure, restrictions, etc., these type of negative headwind will subsequently incur, driving some sort of a catalyst as to popping the balloon type of affectation, right? And why I say is popping the balloon is because we've been inflating ever since, like, if you look at the chart in front of us, like, let's just look at historicals, right? We were at the 2,732.94 in September 24th, and we surged up all the way close to being 2x, right? 200% to be more specific, to November 10th, right? So that's technically about like a month or so, a little bit over a month or so, for that surge of occurrence, right? So now it's just a type of with that catalyst of the bill passing, obviously it's been such an elongated, dragged out type of initiative that the feds, the Congress, the legislative arm, and Joe Biden obviously has been pushing and working on, that finally they went over the hump. Also some sort of like a buy the rumors type of affectation, sell the rumors type of affectation. At the same time, this was also correlating with the China crackdown news that happened, right? That I think China has announced in one of the media publications saying that if the Chinese government finds out any corporations or any institution or private entities that are secretly mining crypto assets, right? They will suffer or incur some regrettable consequences, right? And I think regrettable consequences in China, that's technically translate into execution or death penalties or something like that, which is not something you can joke about, right? They are a communist country, and they do have the power to enforce that type of dynamics as well, right? So this is also like a combination of a lot of macro, slash systemic type of affectation driving the sell-off that we saw in the last couple of days or weeks so far, right? So right now, at the 3,935, that was the dip, right? Which some of us actually got in. I was not fortunate to get in, because I was hoping for a 3,850. So with respect to the current level right now, are we gonna see 3,850? Right, we'll dive into technicals right now because the news is not that active today. So let's just like skip through some of these, like the other ones that we talked about earlier this morning already, with the $10.5 billion in fraud activities that happened in last year, and mostly in Ethereum, and also with respect to the Time Magazine, on initializing holding Ethereum on the balance sheet. So those two news are already something we talked about earlier this morning, right? So let's just dive straight into the technicals. So right now we are trying to recuperate, try to recover, to get back up to the level. We are at the 47 out of 70. You can see that MACD is trying to hold a grip, right, to reverse back up, right? but you could see clearly that, you know, on the opposite side of the spectrum, on the R side, is still dipping, right? So there's no signs of a reversal yet, right? And I hope that, you know, this is not a head and shoulder pattern that we've been talking about. Like the head is right here, the shoulders are right here, and that will subsequently, you know, causes us to, you know, basically foresee a sell-off coming if the pattern confirms from here, right? So right now, I think the play is still holding with respect to 3,850, 3,450. If we break that, obviously the first level first, right? For us to dollar cost average logically. With respect to Bitcoin, you could see that we are still at the bearish state, right? Trying to sustain at the current level at the 56, well, 57 technically, because this is basically like the high 56, right? 56,940. So if we break this, we're gonna go back to the 55, which is the next logical level. You see the red candle here, and then the next level will technically be, if you match with the previous candles, 53, and then the 48. 43, I think like levels like these below like 47 to 43 would be relatively a stretch because we're at the 40 right now. But I think I wouldn't be surprised if we get to like the 52. I think it would be hard for us to break 50 actually. But I think 52 or somewhere between like 49-ish, maybe we touch on a little bit, will be the dip for Bitcoin. And that will subsequently drag us down for Ethereum as well, obviously, because of the drag effects, right? Dogecoin is loading. So Dogecoin right now at the 23 cents to the 19 cents will be the next logical dip from here. Cardano right now, it's at the 187. We up about basically nothing, 0.5% right now. Contemplating on surging or building that next momentum. And I think based on the setup right now on the MACD, we're slowly covering up. We are still at the depleted level for Cardano. So Cardano is actually a buy. I would say it's a really good setup. I like this. If we break this current level, which I don't foresee that to be happening, maybe going down to the 145, that will be a mega dip. I will be buying a lot of Cardano. I do love Cardano, the setup right now, despite how negative this has been. But it seems like this is almost like a downward wedge, right? Right. If this is a downward wedge, we're gonna see some mega surge coming for Cardano, and I think the setup is coming. I do see a surge coming for Cardano, which I really like. Solana right now is down about 4%. We are still in the bearish state. Again, we're buying somewhere around like the 130 to 113, right? XRP down about 2% right now. We are contemplating, do we go up to 110 or go down to 101? Right, I think 105 is the next logical level, right? We are still trying to curve up right now, 42 out of 70. So ideally by 105 to 101 will be the next logical dip from here. Polkadot right now at the, again, right, I keep mentioning this over and over again. If we break the current level, we're gonna go down to the 33. So 33 to 25 is the dip. Algorand down about 4% right now, and I think we are at the 46 out of 70, so it's not terrible, but not the best either. So I think ideally, again, we're buying the 160 to 152 is the next logical dip from here. So Shiba Inu right now, it's selling off still. So we gotta wait for it to cool back down to the 2750 to 900 from here as we deplete the RSI scale. And I think the MACD is still bearish. We could see that we're clearly sliding off the cliff right now. So respect to risk management level, these are the levels to dollar cost average at per our technical analysis that we just performed together right now. Again, right, for Bitcoin, I think the 48 to 44 will be a stretch, but if we do get there, I would, you know, probably incur some risk, a sizable risk actually for myself, because like that will actually form a huge outlier, being way too much oversold, right? And with respect to the other levels that we identify here for these coins, it still holds true. So hopefully this is helpful. I'm gonna head out. Actually gonna take Finn to the dog park later. While we still enjoy the nice cool weather of New York, because the winter is definitely coming. I think the snowstorm and that's all gonna get nasty coming up in the next couple months, right? I think January to February or even March sometimes is like the worst time in New York to go out. That's when it's like all like you see like black ice all over the place. You know, black ice is basically ice that's like solidified on the flat ground, but you cannot see it. But it's like kind of glossy over. But you step on it, it's very slippery. And you also get like really cold days where it's so cold that you don't even get snow at all. So that's something I don't really look forward to, but it is part of living in New York, right? It is, in my personal opinion, the best city in the world. And I lived in multiple major cities in the world. I lived in Hong Kong. I lived in San Francisco. I lived in Toronto. I've never been to Tokyo. I look forward to going there someday, but I heard great things about it. But New York is still, high rank in my place. I don't know, it's just something magical about this place. And also a great thing you could probably sense from my energy right now. I'm feeling much better. My dad made me some herbal tea. I don't know if you can see it. It's like kind of like a black liquid. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, it's like a herbal tea that he made. I drank like a whole pot of it, and I think it actually makes me feel better. So, all right. So hopefully you guys have a good weekend and stay tuned for us to come out. Take care.